Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Toku Portal podcast. It's show time. I am V, and joining me today is
Right. Welcome to Ryusoulger, episode 41. Uh, so, this week's episode features a special guest, an actress from Kamen Rider Forze. And there's been a lot of Rider veterans appearing on this show.
and all of them do an amazing job.
Yeah. We got her from Forze, she was the cheerleader. Saya from Build. Akiko from Double,
And the best thing about it to me is their characters are different from the way they are in the show or in their respective shows. Like for Akiko, pretty much the only thing that was similar is she had the slipper and threatened to hit somebody with it. But other than that, it was an entirely different character. She was more mellow, less excitable, less, for lack of a better term, bitchy, I am your god level. Whereas, because she played the one in this episode, she played Miyu, the cheerleader from Forze, who started out as there's no other way to say this. She started out as a cunt. But through the power of friendship with the, disgraced Gentaro, it turned into a relatively decent human being. But she still had that "I'm better than you" mentality throughout the entire show.
Yeah, one of her highlights is actually when she justifies being a horrible person. Not her behavior as a horrible person, but her actions. Like when she receives a bunch of gifts and she starts throwing them out. This person wrote me a fan letter. His handwriting is illegible, so in the trash it goes. Or, hey, this person got me jewelry, but this isn't something that I care for, so why would I want it?
With certain things, I can understand the whole "I'm not going to keep this gift because it's not something that I like." I understand that is just the attitude she had about it was very fuck everybody else.
It really just came down to her attitude, but from her perspective, it was I could throw this out now or in 3 months.
Right. Where I truly feel in that where she screwed up wasn't the fact that that's what she was doing. It was she was basically making no acknowledgement that she got it. There was no thank you, no what you would normally do when given a gift. And I understand this is oddly top tier popular shit, so it's people get gifts consistently when you're that popular. So to go those lengths to tell every single person you've ever gotten a gift from thank you, it's it's something that's not to be expected, but here and there it'd be nice. But it was just her blasé attitude about it, because it wasn't so much that she was just thrown away. The video that was released in that episode was she was being a bitch about it and coming across like she was making fun of the people that were giving them to her. But over the course of the series, she becomes a very decent person. But throughout her entire time in the Kamen Rider Club, she's like, no, I'm the president because I'm the best. I'm the most popular, so I'm obviously going to be the leader of this, or the president.
And then she graduates halfway through the show.
Yeah, then still finds reasons to show up.
Yeah, and still hangs out with a bunch of high schoolers. Ryusoulger.
Where in here's she's very understanding and just a calm character. Everything she does in the show is it's very understandable as why she does everything. It is very okay reasons. Because through this entire episode, she does nothing bad at all. The closest you get to she did something bad is she broke off the engagement with Kanalo because he was finicky. I think it was because he was hitting on women.
No, I think it was just his uptight personality about conserving resources. Like, hey, did you turn the lights off when you were in the toilet?
Wait, is that a thing?
That was the first thing we hear Kanalo say to his girlfriend in his introduction.
Huh.
He said
I
that
forgot
to
about
her.
that.
Yeah, no, when we first see him and they're at the park by the fountain, she's breaking up with him because he said that he asked her that in the middle of the diner that they were at.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm like, yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
In my head, I thought you were just making a reference to something somebody told you to do because it would save energy.
No, that's a thing Kanalo told one of his girlfriends to do because it would save energy.
God, what a lunatic.
So, he seems to have gotten better since then, but I can imagine why his former fiancée would have broken up with him.
Right. Well, that and his, I don't ever want to leave the fucking underwater.
And look
Because
where
that was a
that
big
got
thing
him.
at the start of it. Yeah, now he has friends.
With the
See what happens
Land
when you go
Ryusoul
outside,
tribe,
people?
no less.
See what happens when you go outside, people? You make friends. I should probably start going outside again then.
What for?
Yeah, I know. Some of my best friends are here. What's up, Rye?
Nothing much. Watched a really good episode of Ryusoulger. You want to talk about it?
Yeah, let's actually start talking about it now. 10 minutes into the podcast.
Still not as bad as Ryder. Okay, so so Wudon, the orange cone head guy from when Nada died, his cousin Saden has shown up, his green cousin.
And he's quick to remind you he's not Wuden, he's Saden.
It was an honest mistake on Weiser's part.
Right, because, he doesn't know any better. It's the same thing with the Ryusoulgers, except for the fact that I would say because they killed him, but, they killed Gedjuleus a few times, too.
Even Tank Joe.
And they just kept showing back up. So, yeah, I can accept that as an honest mistake.
So, yeah, when Saden is reporting to Precious, he's like, so Wuden and Gedjuleus are buried now? I noticed they left Tank Joe out of that. Like, did that guy not matter? Probably not.
Not for the plan, I'm guessing. I'm assuming that whatever this is, all this for.
Yeah, true. Tank Joe
they
got
were
owned.
Key to the plan.
Tank Joe got owned twice before Precious showed up.
Right.
So, Saden decides, alright, well, let's just go take the Ryusoul Caliber from the Ryusoulgers, since we need that for Hellas-sama's revival. And Precious is like, yeah, good job, good plan. Now that I have you, I can get rid of the others. And Krian overhears that. And realizes, wait, am I the others? I thought I was gonna be a general.
Like, when... Let's take a few steps back. From the way I understood the whole let's take the Ryusoul Caliber, it wasn't because of, hey, we need that. It's just, no, we need them not to have it.
Both. I guess they needed it to be pulled from the temple, but yeah, they also don't want the soldiers to have it.
Right, because in my head, that's the key to defeating Hellas-sama and sealing them.
Yeah, it's probably what sealed him the first time.
If they take that back, then that keeps it from him being able to be sealed. And then initially, it's like when Precious made the comment of now I can get rid of the others. My brain initially went, now I can get rid of the Ryusoulgers. You know, because in theory, it's like once you do that, you can get rid of the real soldiers. That's pretty much the only thing keeping you from being able to do so. And then it showed Creon overseeing it. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, no. The taking back the Ryusoul caliber groups the Ryusoulgers with that. The others refers to now that I have you working for me, I don't
I
need
don't need Creon and
Wizaru.
Waizaru.
I don't need those useless chodes.
I mean, to be fair to the not needing Creon part, they only need Creon for the Minosaurs.
Which we don't even know if that's exclusive to him. We have
Right.
no bearing on this.
Other than the fact that he's the only one we've ever seen do this.
But Precious brought that Minosaur from space from somewhere.
It it could have been one that Creon made in space on another planet. I don't know. It's never explained where he got it from and why he had it, other than it came from space.
So the Minosaurs are just a thing that have existed for as long as the Droodons have, because creating Minosaurs is what they do. So I can't imagine Creon is the only one that can do it. So the question is, how extensive is this ability? Because they keep relying on Creon for it. Are there
Right.
others out there? Or how big is the Droodon army at this point?
Right. It's like it's one of those like I want to say it's like by this point it's kind of on its last legs kind of thing. Like I want to say they only came back because the meteor took out the planet. So they're like, hey, we don't have to deal with them fuckers anymore. They showed back up and went, fuck, they're still here. Damn it. I want to say that's how their entire plan went. Um, but in terms of like Wiseru, yeah, they have no need of Wiseru at all. He's just entertaining.
But not to them.
Right. He's a waste of space to them.
So, in other news, Oto has stolen Ryusoul Caliber.
And what a Herculean leap of logic Melto made for that.
What? You expect Moto to not know his girlfriend's jewelry?
Oh no, I have no doubt that he does. But it has been clearly shown that Oto is there a lot. At any point from the time he gave her that, she could have dropped it.
I think
It
we've
didn't necessarily meant that it was dropped when from the. I highly doubt it went. Hey, I'm gonna give you this beret or Brett, not beret. At which point she went, thank you, and then proceeded to go steal Real Soul Calibur. I want to say some time went by between those events that she could have lost it at any point.
I just
That's normal logic.
right. I just want to point out that we've established already that Melto is the smartest Ryusoulger at the stupidest times.
Yes, and this is one of them. Though I do like the fact that they started out accusing Ui's dad of it, and of being Wiseru.
Trust no one.
That was great.
Uh,
And everybody mean mugging him on the way out the door. Also, just because I want to point this out,
sorry.
is like during the flashback that they give of Oto giving the Real Soul Calibur, I want to point out that the barrette was touching her ear, like heavily. She would have noticed that it fell out.
Yeah.
100%. That wouldn't have been oh, look. It wouldn't have just fell out and she didn't notice it. It's like she would have noticed it immediately. And like most young women, would have picked it up immediately.
Unless she was just so excited to be holding the sword that she could give it to Mia.
Yeah,
It's like
I
when
like
you
to assume that at
space,
least
sometimes
one.
you can space out a lot. Though I find it hilarious that they don't actually show how it falls out of her hair. It just
No,
shows that
it's
it
just yeah
hitting the
that
floor.
yeah. Because based on logic, no, it should. There is nothing that she did that should have caused it to come out.
Unless what we didn't see was her hitting herself in the head with the door.
Which may be possible. They may not have doors underwater. They may have the Star Trek doors. I don't know. I'm just trying to justify it.
So they find the sword. Ocho thought that it was a fake because of its weird coloring. So she lent it to Mia, who is in charge of props for the film shoot. And hey, some of their extras didn't show up. Would the other Ryusoulgers like to fill in for those extras?
And do an awesome but shitty job of it.
Yeah, no, I don't. I can't get a read on what the movie is supposed to be. Is it some kind of samurai warlord felled through a time hole or something?
Yeah, because I mean, I will admit, at least Banba points that out. He's like, no, these costumes don't match. Like
Is it?
nothing about it makes sense.
Is this Samurai Cop 2?
That would be awesome. What would be funny now is if Toei made Samurai Cop 2 just because of that.
I think Samurai Cop 2 is happening.
That would be great. And it would be great if like something like that happened. Fuck. But also, how dumb are the Ryusoulgers? I mean, we're pretty clear that they're extremely dumb. They thought a dinosaur would look like a reindeer. But then again, the bad guys did too.
Samurai Cop 2
So,
came out in 2015?
oh wow, maybe this is number 3 then.
Jeez, has it been. Because, like, I heard about the Kickstarter and stuff. I didn't realize it had been 5 years.
Damn.
Okay.
But back to my question: how dumb are the Ryusoulgers?
Uh. Irrelevant. Nobody is smart on this show.
How in their right mind would they have even remotely thought it was okay to use the Ryusouls?
I think they just kind of got immersed. It's like, hey, we're supposed to capture these guys, and muscle memory. It's like, if you want to capture someone, you do it like this.
The worst part about this,
Also,
honestly and truly to me, is the director who's sitting back, who has no knowledge of what the Ryusoulgers are or their equipment and how they work, is going, is this in the script? Like, no, you jackass, you should know better. Like, most directors, when it comes down to directing stuff, they pretty much know what's supposed to be happening. It's kind of why they're the director. So at no point should the director went, that doesn't seem right. Did I forget something? Because, it's kind of a big thing to miss when, some people have magic swords that, whip and cage people.
yeah. They just kind of overlooked that part and are just like, man, these guys are way too good for what the script calls for.
And also, like, you would have thought somebody, the director or the AD or anybody else on that film would have went, hey, here's what you guys have to do. Just chase after these people.
I think that's what they did tell them. I think the Ryusoulgers just got carried away.
I mean, it is possible they are retarded.
And then during a break, Asuna and Moto overhear the director telling one of the other guys about how they're just leading Mia on and they're not going to let her direct a shoot.
Which is also overheard by Oto, who dumps popcorn on them.
And the guys just kind of look down, wondering why there's popcorn on them, rather than looking up to see where it came from.
Right. Again, everybody in the show is stupid. But it gives Melto enough time to grab Oto and run her away and tell her not to tell Maya.
And Mia. And
Or Mia.
Creon overheard that stuff about being led on. Now he's wondering, like, has everyone been leading me on? Prish, Tankjo, Gadgeleus, Wiseru?
Which, with the way this plays out in the end, is like I firmly believe that Creon doesn't feel that Wiser is leading him on.
No, Precious was the only one leading him on. Gadgeleus was working him too hard, and Tangjo was just abusing him. But not in like he was kind of, but like maybe not abusing him. He was just like bullying him. Tangjo was
Yeah.
just bullying him.
Gadgeleus was the one who was abusing him.
Yeah.
Working him to death is abuse. But like this is the type of character development. It's like that. It feels natural with the way it's played out, because it's not something of, oh, here's this sudden thing I'm learning through some random ass ways. Everything Creon learned through this episode is like literally he learned it through because he was there. It was where all of this stuff takes place, and it was natural for him to be in these places. Because it first starts out at the hideout that Creon built, and this one he was already going to steal the sword. So of course he would overhear that. It's like this is natural character development that's very much plotty at the same time.
It's incredibly well executed. Creon is the best written character in the show.
Oh, 100%. Like I even like the point where Creon's on the stairs, like waiting to go grab the Real Soul Caliber, and
Sudden
comes
by. It's
down.
like,
Yeah, I almost called him Wooden. Like he comes down the stairs, is like, there's a big energy spike here. This must be where it's at, right? And then just walks off.
And that's when Creon kind of has his snapping moment of like, you didn't even wait for me to answer. Is that how little I mean?
Like the way that had started to come out of his mouth, because it came out pissed off to start with. My brain immediately went, ooh, he's gonna attack Wooden. Sudden, damn it. Like it was one of those, I was like, ooh, this is that defining moment where it shifts. I was like, and that's how it played out. I was like, damn it. Like I felt cheated a little bit, but at the same time I'm like, no, this works.
For me, the moment was when Creon is holding the sword and Sudden is about to kill him to get it back. And Creon, like, I thought Creon was gonna fight back then, but rather than that, Creon is just like regretting things. He's like, I haven't felt satisfied by anything yet. I don't want to die.
Like that would have been the perfect moment for his ultimate attack that we've still yet to see. But like, I mean, like that would have been like the perfect time for him to attack, and it would have been 100% natural and perfect. But at the same time, the way everything else plays out, it's still everything about this is still perfect. Every bit of this episode, when it comes to Creon and that the storyline in general on that, is perfection.
And it all climaxes when Creon is watching the Ryusoulgers get their asses kicked by Sudden, and he's holding the sword, and he knows that if they had the sword they could win, but if he gives it to Precious, Precious will acknowledge him. But you can just see the hesitation in him, like he doesn't even like Precious, and you can tell he's realizing, like, will Precious even acknowledge me?
Right. It's like, and it's a perfect moment for his character. Because I mean, this isn't the first time we've seen him not be evil.
Right. The
And
the
to be
music
fair,
video was supposed to be completely innocent.
right. He just accidentally, squirted some Minosaur juice into his drink.
He just got a little excited and accidentally squirted.
I was trying to not make it dirty. Like I was trying to word that as innocently as possible because that's exactly how I wanted to put it. God damn it.
Sorry, but that's what happened. It is no worse
than Thouser jacking people
yeah,
off.
I was gonna say it's no worse than Thouser jacking off 01.
And Fua.
And now Fua.
But like the acknowledgement that Creon has that there's even there's a very big possibility that Precious, even with that, Precious won't acknowledge him, is fantastic because it is a very much a fair point. Because even if he does this, there's still a chance that Precious won't acknowledge him.
Like, this decision didn't come from any admiration for the Ryusoulgers. It came from a deep reflection of, what am I even doing this for? It came from a self-reflection of his own goals and ambitions.
Which, beyond having fun, we haven't really seen any goals for him.
Besides, like, hey, if I become a general, no one will get to bully me around anymore, right? But now, the person who gave him that promise, he's realizing he was being bullied by that person as well. In a way he didn't even realize.
Right. It's like, it's that idea of what will it cost you?
And so giving the Ryusoulgers their sword back was him finally making his big stand against all that. Like, no, I'm not gonna put up with that anymore. I'm not gonna succumb to this.
Like, then you also have the thought of, like, what's the worst that can happen? He gives the sword to the Ryusoulgers. Precious finds out, kills Creon. He gives the Ryusoul caliber to Precious, and Precious could still kill him because what the fuck do you need Creon
like,
for?
All right, cool. You served your purpose.
Right. So, this is that whole, what is the lesser of two evils? Or rather, what does it even matter what I choose? Also, fuck Sodden.
Right. Because, like, all Sodden cares about is getting the soul back to Precious. Even when Kryn is like, no, I found it, I'm gonna be the one to hand it over. Nah, Sodden doesn't even care. It's like, no, you're trash.
No, I'll just take it off your corpse. Like, Sodden doesn't give a fuck about anybody, apparently, except Precious. So, yeah, it's like, in the end, it's like, no, fuck that guy. Because in theory, he gives the sword to the Ryusoulgers. They take out Sodden. One of his problems is gone.
Sodden is still around, though. He ran away.
Yeah, because this didn't kill him.
Not yet. But Precious won't let Sodden get away with running forever, so...
Yeah,
he'll have to finish the fight at some point.
If nothing else, that is the one thing I like about Precious being a general. We actually get to see fights end. Takes a minute, but they end. We don't sit through 2 arcs of a character just running the fuck away. Well, except Rizaru, he retreats strategically.
Wizaru makes it work. Like, I can't hate Wizaru.
Right. It's like, and like that's the weird thing. It's like, 'cause we've had Sentai villains in the past is where all they did is run away.
Because, like,
They'd get to a point and then they'd run away. Hell, that was 90% of fucking Power Rangers for us.
right,
Anytime
like,
Goldar showed up, he'd start getting his ass kicked. No, fuck this, I'm out.
the generals will show up, get hit with a big attack, and go, okay, I'm not fighting this, and leave before the fight is finished. And that's what Wiseru does. Like, he doesn't finish the fight because he knows it's a losing battle.
Right. Whereas Gadulaeus finished the fight
Yeah,
and
yeah.
still ran away.
Gadulaeus would lose, straight up lose, not die, and run away.
To the point where they had to point out it happened. Like I think that was the most frustrating thing for me was the having to go back and point out that oh yeah, no, I didn't die. Like that frustrated me. That was that moment of like, no, fuck this guy. Beyond how he treated Crayon, because by that point I liked Crayon.
And the Ryusoulgers then give Kurion a big surprise. Ko runs up and says thank you. And even Bamba calls him out and that's like, what are you thanking Kreon for? Because he helped us. And then Kreon just turn heels into a tsundere. Like, who helped you? My hand slipped. Idiots!
Idiots.
And just starts running. Oh, it's so adorable.
Because honest and truly, from what we've seen, this is the first time he's ever been thanked.
Oh
And
yeah,
genuinely
you
thanked. And he knows the difference.
you can see it in his, like, he's wearing a
The
static costume that doesn't make facial expressions. You can still see it in his face when he is
like the
thanked.
way like the as soon as because he's walking away when he's thanked, it's like it's just that way he stops.
He stops, he looks up a bit as he's listening to them and realizing what's happening. The he was nice to them and they were nice back.
Which is how
That
it
is
should be.
that is a connection he hasn't even had with Wiseru, because even Wiseru will be like, yeah, don't take too much satisfaction out of this. You can't enjoy it more than I can.
Right. And also if your idea is better than mine, it's now my idea. I.e. the music video.
But the Rio soldiers showed him genuine kindness.
Like this is like if this plays out the way that this is now leading to, and unlike the way we thought it was, like this will be the most genuine bad guy turned good guy ever.
Yeah, like, with how much fun Kreon was having being the villain, I thought for sure he was going to stay the villain for throughout the show. But now they've introduced an actual villain who's like doing all the big evil stuff, and Kreon's realizing like, I don't want to become that. That's horrible.
Right. It's like, and then like he's also seeing no benefit from continuing to be with them. So it's like he's realizes like he's like cared for. The only one who's shown me any kind of kindness there, like true honest kindness, is Wiseru, and even that was kind of meh.
Yeah,
But
even that had
it
its
was
like big
big
downsides.
limits. Like right. It's like but there was still genuine joy there, which leads to Wiseru watch Naruto.
Yeah, Kreon goes looking for Wiseru, who like was hiding up against a pillar, holding up a kern of the pillar's color, and then like drops it down like surprise, like a fucking Naruto episode.
It's like and like aside from the very beginning of this episode, we haven't seen Wiseru this entire episode. I firmly believe he's been standing at that pillar the entire time, just waiting for somebody to just randomly mention him so he can do that.
And and as we've established, the person that Kreon cares about the most is Wiseru, because although their relationship isn't great, they are still best friends. And so Creon wants to get away from Precious. He wants to take Wiseru with him. So how do you free Wiseru from Precious's grasp? Hey, what if we go to the Ryusoulgers for help?
Hey, what if we did that thing Geki Ranger did?
What if we did that thing Kyoryuger did again?
I was gonna try to not point that one out.
No. Never.
I swear to God, if Wiseru becomes the elder of the goddamn fucking thing like Canderella did, I'm gonna be irritated. It would be amazing. It would be 100% amazing. Not even gonna lie, but I'll be irritated.
Wise deity, Wiseru!
That would be fucking amazing.
Meanwhile, everyone thinks that Kanelo's getting back together with his ex-fiance, and then the two of them get into a lover's quarrel where she says she wants to be hooked up with Bamba, and everyone's just like, no, no, you don't.
Well, that's because Banba's already taken.
Yeah. Just that road goes nowhere.
Then again, she may not take kindly being told to take her clothes off. Still can't believe that line came out of his mouth.
And that was this week's episode. So, what does the next week preview have in store for us?
It's showtime! Which I realized I did that backwards this time.
Yeah, you did. He exemplifies the show.
Right. I did it right at the beginning of this episode.
Yeah.
And I realized I screwed it up as I ended the syllable for show, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna run with it. Fucking Wiseru, man.
The curtain rises on Wiseru's play. Seems he's got one last plan up his sleeve before he's ready to submit.
Or it's part of his plan to help to deal with Precious.
Probably.
Considering the fact that the preview for this episode was set as a battle royal for the fucking sword, who knows at this point? Because their previews are weird, apparently. But on that note, we have reached the end of the podcast. We will be back tomorrow with Kamen Rider 01. And most likely this weekend for the Ryusoulger movie. Because that came out too.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out when we're doing that. So thanks for joining us tonight, everyone. We'll be back tomorrow with Kamen Rider 01, and we'll see you next time.
And see you next time.